I watched hentai to beat Venom and Spider-Man 2, and also brought about the era of Hentai Haven, defended the World Trade Center from the sands of Sharia, dealt with Russia's plan to eradicate New York's furry population, and dropped the diss track of the century to turn Venom gay. To raise the stakes, I also did all of this on the implied consent difficulty. Let's go smoke some crack off Venom's fatty and play Spider-Man 2 on crack. The game starts with a Miles and Peter recap. I would use MJ's toilet paper as a cleanser. My biggest stop was an Asian in blackface. My previous employer reacted very poorly after Elon shut down his lab, and my aunt is such a good actor, she's still dead. She'll be back soon. Miles went to LeBron's school, so math isn't really his strong suit. His mother's an insider trader, his crush loves dodging trains in various capital cities, and his dad got bodied by blackface in his plot to monopolize the N-word. As for his college essay, Mom will just pay off the recruiter. Norman Musk's son has weak genes, and to prevent his death, he sacrifices his N-word past, turning Harry from a misdemeanor to a life sentence through erotic hentai. Miles is joined by Can't Believe It's Not Ned and a girl who only speaks in gang signs. Peter's late for his first teaching class, leaving Principal Jada to angrily depart and tweet about the time she fingered Will, and he shat on her hand. Miles needs to shit, only to return as he needs someone to hold his cock while he pisses.
Are you sure this isn't something you can handle yourself?
I'm sure.
No shame in that, we all need a little help you son of a bitch, you lied to me. I take honesty very seriously, Miles. We go to confront Aaron Habibi as MJ calls. MJ, drugs are highly haram. I doubt he'd risk beheading because he couldn't spin without a perk 30.
He just exploded.
There we go, just lead with that next time. After evading a C4s, we get stuck inside, unable to pull out, enraging Marco, who views homosexual acts worse than genocide. He summons the Taliban, forcing me to evade their Sharia shards, but to no avail.
Man,
I always hated that name.
Call me Mahmoud, yahi. Miles saves Peter before beating back ISIL's finest jihadists, and just as we think he's beaten, he materializes across a body of water after establishing his weakness to liquids. The two Spider-Men use Miles' lightning to defeat the villain who gets his ass beat by the fire department. A flashback ensues in the forests of Siberia as a man named Kraken uses a body replacement jutsu to hunt a Russian draft dodger before he's informed of furries in New York. Kraken, being an average TCLR subscriber, cannot stand to let furries live unperturbed and makes to rid the world of these vile creatures. Back in New York, a looting occurs, deducing they'll have more AR-15s than Glocks, as no black man was recently murdered by police. After the Mighty Morphing Power Rangers, his legal team sues for copyright. J. Jonah Jameson. Heard you was talking shit, little bro. Heard you grew up with wolves, little bitch. He shows his famed verbal artistry, rhyming maggot and bigger, but threatening to open an investigation on his relationship with Epstein shuts him up. Tom Holland at home gets fired for abandoning students in a crisis as Jada leaves to tweet about how much girthier Tupac was than Will. After learning they don't give severance after 2 minutes on the job, MJ comes over and is sent right back from whence she came. You're telling me I threw hands with Sandman and came home to the cement guy from Pedo Bait? I kissed the no doubt loaded third-story window victim at 14? That's not all, as in between his unprofessional verbiage against Biden, Jameson mentioned anyone who doesn't write a front-page story this week is getting axed. Should've just let Sandman flatten me like that. May fucked me harder than I'll ever MJ to keep her soup kitchen afloat, so the difficulty isn't the only thing with roaming rights to my asshole. Getting a flashback to Peter getting his first hate comment before Tyler the Creator opened his eyes. Aunt May flexes about how she was captain of the soccer team, student president, won the Nobel Peace Prize before collapsing after she tried to add president of the free world to the mix back in the Mesozoic era, and how Peter needs balance. Somebody arrived. A Hentai Haven superstar? As he's signing my underage body pillow, we learn he's Peter's childhood best friend, and the deadly disease he contracted from his mother shares her fate. MJ Lee, Harry, I'll pay the child support if you get her pregnant. He seems open to the possibility.
No, are you kidding? You wanna come inside?
Never mind, he's gay. We learn why he was gone so long as the Tates trafficked him for their expansion into anime porn before he ended up escaping. Arriving to our old high school and breaking in while reminiscing about the time we disregarded Flash's advice, who broke our laptop housing a presentation for an important competition, forcing us to sneak into school after hours to get a flash drive the presentation was saved on. Eventually we get to the locker in current time. In the past we escaped as well, but breaking and entering is at least 4 stars in New York. Never mind, it's Dad.
Your mama dead. Dead as hell.
The gift is a job at his new corporation, agreeing to meet the next day and brainstorm the most brutal ways to fire all the single mothers under our employ. Miles leaves to help Peter with a prison transfer and learns his father's about to get replaced, made worse when the man who caused all this is who they have to transfer. Oh no, everyone who can't play hopscotch, get— We beat back the boarding attempt. Huh, wonder how Scorpion was able to escape. This is locked shit. Miles fails, setting the black community back decades before finding his dad's spinner, but Kraken has shooters on standby. Miles chooses to save genetic miscreants instead, now having blue electricity after molesting Lee. The firemen say they need my help to save a hospital housing children who can't be relocated, and I say I'll be there in a jiffy. Arriving at the Emily May Foundation 5 minutes later, as Harry's loaded father allowed him to skip to endgame content, finding a suitable replacement for MJ, and after sexual commentary so funny HR wanted to hear the joke themselves, I meet Dr. Connors and get to our office. I never thought motion capture could get this realistic, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Let's change the world one CEO bonus at a time. After fingering a carrier pigeon, I learn of a Wagner lab and that Kraken is quite thorough in his research before wanking it to not MJ. RoboCop's best friend interrupts, and while I asked for this, I wanted this, nothing prepared me for the rectum-ravaging testicular torquing these dogs gave me. They put me on a leash and took me for a stroll through Central Park. I wouldn't be surprised if I was giving back shots and my trauma blocked out the memory. Afterwards, Kraken let Scorpion loosen.
Have a nice trip.
Kraken live through Stalingrad. He use mustard gas for high.
Well, that was quite violent, finding out he's going after every furry in New York with Black Cat next. Mom whipped out her good lips. Oh gosh darn, I'd love to meet my stepdad, but heroin addicts were seen on 6th Avenue, you know how it is. We reach Felicia's ransacked home, and after some sleuthing I discover the Siberian hunters forced her underground. Not underground enough. Felicia's Peter's ex, arriving to a second crime scene, finding she's French. No, she would have surrendered already. Wand of Watum. Did Planned Parenthood collab with Harry Potter or something? They trap her, but after forgetting my ejaculation registers an impressive decibel score, a portal to oblivion opens. Peter gave up this for this? Miles is right. Witchery's the only way to describe the fumble of the millennia, chasing after her as Miles would go to the ends of the earth to have a chance. No, I'm serious. He's in Antarctica and regrets nothing. I catch up pondering what Peter did, because I know damn well he didn't cut things off.
I'm tired, boss.
She's trying to get to her girlfriend in Paris.
MJ said not to trust you.
The day I pick MJ over Black Cat is the day this guy gets to smell Ruby Rose. We get surrounded with infantry fighting vehicles, soldiers, and worst of all, dogs. How will we overcome this? Sending her to Paris and keeping the Elder Scroll. MJ finished her article, so there's hope for Peter's window plan yet. At the carnival, Peter says hi, and after forcibly removing Genki's lips off his scrotum, his buddies show up too. Playing carnival games for 30 minutes as MJ and her 14 book sales were passed over by a guy calling the Spiderman National Socialists. Huntsmen show up and corner reformed villain Tombstone as Peter shows him who runs New York. Committing terrorism, surprising Peter, who holds the roller coaster, but for some reason, this one dumbass refuses to move, and just as natural selection breaks the Warriors' record. The Heraclean hentai and Amazing Spider-Man save the civilians at the cost of Frankenstein getting away. Realizing that Harry can be the first anime fan to positively contribute to society, we head off to the lab to train. After listening to Jonah's broadcast on how one Spider-Man is bad enough, but now we also have two Black Cat returns Miles' favor, letting us know where they're keeping Tombstone as Peter begs her to take him back unsuccessfully. Peter says he has to do this alone, arriving at the steel foundry before instructing Harry not to show up. He's still new. Harry and Peter beat the fuck out of these wannabe hooligans, making it to Tombstone, who's been step-broed, using the powers of tentacle porn to get the prison open before the foundry combusts, sprinkling a little sand our way out to throw the authorities off our trail. Back at the office, MJ calls and says they've taken Dr. Connors. Quick question, where are you right now? At the set of Castlevania, MJ discovers something she never thought she'd see. Hunters are actually hunting. A true turn of events. George R.R. Martin couldn't write a more compelling twist. She discovers Connors being treated like Taylor's exes at a Swiftie convention, going to secure the passcode and key to his cell. I take out a captain and through my convincing Russian accent, "You sound American. Ukraine for the motherland. Bliat. Communism. Thanks, Stalin's mustache. I thought you were a foreign agent. Code is on whiteboard. Hail Putin." After grabbing the key, I free Dr. Connor. Why do I hear boss music? She attempts to taser him, but a puny 5 million volts does little more than tickle average TCLR subscribers, injecting the doctor with green ooze. Peter and Miles show up soon after as we escort the doctor and MJ to a lab to make a serum, finding a vial that can make an antidote, but a TCLR subscriber cannot be bested that easily, showing New York's top furry the difference in their powers. Dr. Connors breaks out as Venom off the top rope! Also, Peter dies. I knew it, this suit is an above average subscriber, bringing the dead back to life. A revitalized Peter leaves as Kraken salivates after him. This does leave Harry in a minor predicament as the suit refuses to go back, meaning we need to grab Kraven's serum to save Connors and then Harry. After some sleuthing, I discover that Kraven's having a shindig and I go investigate. I'm sent to feed Kraven's bodyguard, whoever that is, handing the largest hunter is...
What the hell is this?
I was told to deliver this to Mr. Kravenoff's personal bodyguard?
What makes you think I'm him?
Did he make Bane from Batman his bitch or something? Cause who? He made a tiger his bitch. I use the sedative to knock out Dima, discovering that Kraven is dying from late-stage cancer. You're telling me Kraven is supposed to be on life support and here he is making the furries of New York his butt plugs, trying to find somebody to kill him. I find his current location and as I take my leave... Shit. Why are there viscous fluids on the tiger?
It's not what it looks like?
I show them a photo of MJ and they forgive me, making my way to a cathedral. After dealing with Kraven's top OnlyFans donor, I sneak in and steal the vial as the clock strikes 12, causing the suit to malfunction before Peter, intimidated greatly by the aura of Kraven, runs, but Kraven's always one step ahead. We use the particle accelerator to concoct a vaccine. Kraven's finest appear, having to hold them off, which goes swimmingly until Gulmer Stonefist of the Skyrim Rebellion refuses to take no for an answer. I finally avoid sodomization, complete the antidote, and escape, breaking into Dr. Connor's abode where I learn his wife took the kid and ran when he first transformed and made D-Day look like a school shooting on a Saturday. Finding a secret office, guessing the combination, and concluding he was continuing Unit 731's experiments, but it was on heroin addicts instead of people. Streets say the dino is swimming through a river, cutting back to Miles visiting his popped pops at the graveyard after breaking through a dock warehouse. Spooky. If I didn't just get done playing this. Peter appears after Genki hacked into a bird as Godzilla breaks through, forcing us to chase him while the hunters make this a three-way fuckfest. The lizard escapes, but with a tracker on it as Peter blames Miles for letting him escape. Oh, that's kind of strange. I hope he's okay. At Connor's secret lab, we find some sort of space rock the suit seems to like, but this knockoff scene from Jurassic Park takes priority. Next boss fight, I get my insides laid out for everyone to see numerous times before vanquishing. He has 3 phases. Finally sticking in the antidote and saving him. Awakening later and through a flashback, we realize why he earned his special parking pass. You know, when I was a lizard, I had 2 hands. Dick.
We need to call Oscorp. We
Destroy us? You said
He's too far gone. Run, doctor!
Nigga!
Arriving home and falling asleep only for the hunters to show up and Peter to disappear. MJ escapes into the basement and takes the switch, sneaking into the construction site and finding Nega Spider.
I gotta be the marble!
At the tunnel, I get to turning the hunter's pronouns into is/was when MJ rolls in saying she has a plan. That shatters at first contact with the enemy. Miles saves a construction worker who... No! Kraken, you were supposed to stop the heroin addicts, not join them. Peter awakens, and using the seat improperly aside, I get a message from MJ made the front page. Finally something good out of this relationship. Okay, that's just racist. I catch Harry in the midst of his overdose, and after a little argument with him and MJ on her blatant racism, Harry watches as Norman says he's gonna make me his heir, proceeding to assault the window in rage. Waking up as Miles in Mr. Beast's new video. I'm here with Miles in a recreation of the Roman Colosseum, and if he kills his father's murderer, I'll give him $1 million. It takes 3 rounds in a multiverse where I end up as a sex toy until I finally defeat him, but it's not over. He takes off his mask and FBI!
Let's do this my way.
After a bad trip where he makes my biggest insecurities bubble to the surface, I unveil that I'm on this crack daily, breaking out and telling him to go find Spider-Man. Lee gives Peter a signal and tells him Miles is about to be force-fed heroin, leaving quickly to stop the code red. After Kraken traps me, I break out. Only 2 rounds. I got this.
He didn't.
After defeating Kraken on attempt 565, I fulfill both our desires.
Stop!
After beating Peter's ass for saying the N-word, Peter escapes the suit's hold, sealing it in a container meant to stop what I can only assume to be 5 teranewtons. Dr. Connors meets me at Oscorp to... Hey, Harry. Listen, I know you're dying, but this suit is evil. We're burning this.
Saved your life?
Okay, Goffin baby. How did he open this indestructible Oh, this is not good. That's a pinnacle TCLR subscriber. Run, Pete, you stand no chance. Norman orders his guards to take Venom alive, but the US Marines would have a better chance at removing my lips from Black Cat's nipple. I break out and terrorize the local hunter population until Kraken...
Run! Average TCLR subscriber. You're no match for Pinnacle TCLR subscriber.
Kraken has unfortunately corrupted his bloodline with an inferior drug, and so I used him as my Q-tip. Fulfilling his deepest desires, he was a worthy adversary. Venom, meanwhile, convinces Harry they can save the world through nuclear hentai winter. Compelling stuff. I track Harry to a tunnel, finding symbiotes who are just beefier, meatier enemies with a preschool color scheme. And now... our plan to beat Venom is Miles' mixtape. I can't wait to fight Green Goblin with a hoverboard and 2 fidget spinners next game. Ooh, pizza. I have no money, I'll pay with my puss. Shit. I know you're gay, so I'll just turn around and you can pretend. Guess Venom is straight. I arrive home praying that he got to shit. He takes her and... I mean, it is an improvement.
I know how it feels!
Always about you. You can't keep a job. You can't pay the mortgage.
You always leave the toilet seat up. You drink milk out of the carton. I mean, what the fuck is this? Bitch, your chicken is always cold. She gets the symbiote offer and...
Kiss my ass. I quit.
Nah, the 5K mortgage will just pay itself. Interview with the parents of the latest school shooter just dropped. We chase Venom until Peter gets dogpiled, but Mr. Negative is here and uncovers Peter's insecurities. Miles forgives Lee for murking his dad, giving him a new superpower in the process, and we break Peter out of the symbiote's control as Mr. Negative gives all his power to Peter, who unlocks the KKK promotional suit. Harry shows up to the lab unannounced, where he grabs the meteorite, giving him hentai power so strong he turns everyone into a pedophile, leaving our only option to be killing the host. It's sad, but Miles got some drip. We locate Venom in the New York subway and learn he took a move out of Kraven's playbook. He almost makes me his lieutenant for the anime revolution, but Miles saves my flourishing career on Hentai Haven, and thanks to the vision Venom gave Pete, he knows exactly where the meteor is. Returning home to game plan. Subscribe to TCLR to stand a chance. Peter distracts Venom, Miles is crack army, and MJ slithers in and steals the meteorite. MJ may have to subscribe twice. Peter puts Venom's status as the biggest bitch in O-Block on his mama, and Miles does the same to the hentai horde. MJ's switch is more powerful than Peter's suit somehow, so she gets the meteorite no problem. Cutting back to Peter and Venom rendezvousing at the school gym court. LeBron's students stand no chance now. I avoid his attempts to star me in a gay hentai while beating his ass the first 2 rounds. Afterwards, Venom and his dummy cheeks take Peter by the throat as Venom evolves into a butterfly. At the accelerator, Venom shows up and it's up to Miles and his electricity. 3rd round, I prove myself the blacker superhero, but the Pinnacle TCLR subscriber still nearly bashed my head in if it wasn't for MJ. Knowing we stand no chance against the Pinnacle TCLR subscriber individually, Miles charges up the accelerator, leaving Pete with a heartwarming final moment with his best friend, destroying the meteorite and using heavenly power to defeat Venom as Harry and pedophiles are no more. And never mind, Miles knows CPR and he's saved. As a vegetable. They really ruined Harry's arc for this. I see the glass is now bulletproof. Smart man. MJ has her own podcast now, and as a Gen Zer, this makes me relate very much to Hannah Baker. The game ends with Peter continuing a budget Emily May foundation and Miles taking up the mantle of Spiderman, the cooler one with lightning and the N-word. The hardest difficulty was rough, took me 20 hours